Hello, I'm Miranda McQueen. I'm in the EMC 400 class. We're on Module 6 this week. This is Oscar McQueen. He's a paramedic here at Jackson County. He has been in emergency services for the past...
Beginning in 95.
Yeah, since 1995 on and off. So he's worked EMS in several places here in southeastern Kentucky, and he's also a volunteer firefighter with the local fire department. Question we are to ask this week is, Oscar, what do you feel the greatest crisis in EMS has greatest crisis in EMS that we've seen in the last 15 years?
For our area, particularly, we're a small rural service in southeastern Kentucky. We do approximately 2,000 runs a year for a population of 13,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a hospital in the community, so we transport outside the county.
Wow.
Roughly 35 to 45 minutes per patient to there and then back returning. So we average an hour and a half to 2 hours on a run. Currently, we operate two ambulances 24 hours a day for one and 16 hours on the other truck.
Yep.
So our biggest issue is finances. That's what got us to where we only have that number of ambulances. We've had some mismanagement in the past that led to some financial issues. Current administration has turned some of those around. We are better now than we were previously. It's easier to get into a financial issue than it is to get out of a financial issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's taken a long time to even get to where we could have two ambulances as we operate currently. Maybe in the near future we can actually extend that to two 24 hours a day for two ambulances. We've looked at some other funding mechanisms for building a new station through some grant money. We rely heavily on grants for large purchases, as many small services do. With the Medicare and Medicaid reimbursement, which is the vast majority of our patient transports are Medicare and Medicaid patients, their low reimbursement rates is also part of our issue. We've worked hard to mitigate that as well by sending employees to courses on documentation, doing a QA/QI program, and other avenues. That's one of our that would be our biggest crisis that I've seen in this area as far as many services, not just us, but there's other surrounding services that are small that are also running into very similar issues financially.
Okay. Do you think this is a nationwide issue or just here in southeastern Kentucky?
I believe it's a nationwide issue. I believe it's mostly affecting smaller services, especially smaller rural services are affected more by fluctuations in Medicare and Medicaid reimbursements compared to larger, more urban services where I've worked before. We're a taxing district. I've worked in larger taxing districts that had larger tax bases. So the reimbursement rate, even though it did affect them, they had extra money that they could, rainy day funds that they could pull from that got them through those poor financial times. That's our biggest crisis. Another crisis, though, I do see coming up, which could possibly be a shortage of paramedics coming to these smaller rural areas because we can't, once again it falls back to financial purposes, we can't offer the benefits pay that larger services can offer, so that does lead to more difficult for us to find people interested in working in our smaller communities.
Do you ever see a change coming to reimbursement rates? What can affect that?
I'm hoping in the near future there will be a change to reimbursement rates. Medicare and Medicaid will see that we do provide a valuable service. One thing I do believe that will help that is a good, strong educational background for our employees. I do have a bachelor's degree in emergency medical care from Eastern Kentucky University, which I believe you're pursuing as well. And I think that if we can get many of our employees to at least go for an associate's degree, show that we have an educational background, knowledge and understanding of what's going on in healthcare, that Medicare and Medicaid will eventually understand that we do provide a valuable medical service, not just as it has been said, a taxi service. You know, we do more than just transport people to the hospital. We provide care.
Okay. Anything else you can think of that you might want to add?
No, that's all I can think of at this time as far as big crisis. But, you know, being a small rural service, it doesn't take much to be a crisis for us.
No.
You know, a large car accident can put us in a crisis mode.
Right.
A broken down ambulance puts us in a crisis mode. So many of your small rural services are always operating in a just above a crisis mode on a day-to-day
Okay.
period.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.